What's going on, guys? Christian here from CK Wraps. So today I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to wrap your headlights in tint. Now today I'm using Vivid Air Release Tint. I'm using the light smoke on this Ford Raptor F-150. It does come in another color, and I'm going to show you right now. It comes in a dark smoke. All right. It also comes in matte and a few other colors. These are the most common by far, light and dark. Now, the light output that you lose from tinting your headlights or taillights is negligible, okay? It's next to nothing. We're talking about 2% here, roughly. Not even anything that you're going to notice as far as where you're able to see and just by looking at them in general. Headlights nowadays are very, very, very bright. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, they weren't as bright. I mean, even new cars nowadays, I have a 2012, it's not that new, but I have a 2012 Hyundai Tucson, has halogen bulbs. I actually have to question whether the headlights are even on. I don't even know how that can be even legal nowadays, but hey, it is. My wife had a 2015 Jeep Willys, and that had halogen bulbs, and you couldn't even see anything. It didn't even look like the headlights were ever on. So from the daytime running lights to the actual nighttime lights, it looked like nothing. So it would be silly to tint lights like that because we have very, very low output to begin with. Tinting headlights on a truck like this, where everything is LEDs and everything is super bright and super vibrant, you're going to lose next to no light output, okay? Is this illegal? Yes, it is illegal in most places. It's one of those things like, you know, people tint their windows. People tint their windows dark all the time. Is it illegal? Yes, it's illegal in a lot of places to go a certain darkness. Some places allow it, but again, you might want to check just where you live if it's something that you're worried about. For the most part, I've never been bothered about it, and I've had my taillights tinted in the dark version for the past 3 years. Okay, I've been pulled over many times, and it's never even been brought up. So, because my taillights, and I just have a Hyundai Genesis for my other car, my taillights are super bright. Okay, they're LEDs, and the LEDs give out an amazing light output. So even during the day when I brake and stuff like that, you can see them completely clear, crystal clear. There's no loss as far as perception goes. If you can't see headlights and taillights when they're tinted, you should not be driving, just let's put it that way. You're probably legally blind and you should not be driving. So is it a safety issue? It's definitely not a safety issue. I'm going to go as far as to say that. It's not a safety issue when you're tinting headlights like this. It's not going to cause any... So what, maybe I can't see someone from 3 miles away as opposed to 3.1 miles away. Really? If you can't see someone's brake lights and stop in the correct amount of time, because you'll be able to see someone's brake lights during the day with a dark tint on from a mile away. And if you can't stop within a mile, I mean, that's just poor, you're not paying attention, okay? So what we're going to need here is we're going to need some tint. Again, a link to everything in the description below. So headlight tint, we need a blade, we need a squeegee, we need a heat gun, a hair dryer will probably do, and some isopropyl alcohol, okay? I've diluted mine to about 50% for these types of plastics. Clear plastics you want to be a little bit more careful with, nothing too abrasive. They can crack, all right? And we don't want to run into a cracked housing on a headlight. They get very expensive. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift the hood. It's going to make life a little bit easier. Just find the latch. I've got my piece cut. It's definitely a little bit too large. So what I'm going to do is cut it down. I'm going to cut it down quite a bit. So because this truck is not magnetic, I'm going to just peel some of this off. And I just want to show you how easy this is that you can do this yourself, okay? Not all lights are going to be the same. Some will be easier, some will be more difficult. You can tint your side markers, all kinds of stuff with this stuff, right? So it's nothing that advanced. The taillights on this truck are super advanced, and I am tinting them, so that's going to be a bit of a different story. So the goal here is to see how quickly I can get this done. Now, I've already prepped this surface. I had the hood open earlier. Just make sure there's no dust, anything kicking around. You're going to want to make sure that you've removed all the insects from the lens itself, because whatever you put over top whatever you cover is going to be there for a long, long time until you remove the light. So you're going to see things through it. You don't want to see anything through your light. Clean it properly, give it a thorough cleaning, and you're going to be good. So I'm going to start this in about 15 seconds. Let's do this. We got 2 seconds. It's 8:08 right now. Let's do it. So I'm just going to peel that off, and I'm going to start in here. This is the harder area over here, so I'm starting in this area right here. It just makes a little bit more sense to start right over here, because I can take the vinyl and swing it out afterwards and work the whole easy large section that this area is over here, okay? So that section is done right there. What I want to do is do a relief cut. So I've masked off, as you notice, the surrounding area, so that way I can do relief cuts like this. Alright, so we're at the top here. Let me do another relief cut right here. Alright. The relief cuts allow you to work around, okay? So I got one wrinkle. The nice part about this is it's self-healing. I'll take a bit of heat to it, heat it up a little bit, and we're good. Go back a little bit, do a little bit more. All right. So we just kind of glass it out a little bit. This makes things a lot more flat again. It's easy to work with flat vinyl than it is wrinkled vinyl, okay? Working with wrinkled vinyl definitely takes a bit of practice. Can be quite difficult, all right? So I just used heat for that 1 second there, and 8:10, 2 minutes, the headlight's done. So we've tinted it up in 2 minutes. All I gotta do now is trim it, and we're done. So I'm going to go over all of this right here. Just make sure we're nice to the edge. Let's warm it up and make sure we're good. When it comes to coverage, all you need to do is go to the edge, okay? We don't need to wrap it around an inch or half an inch or anything like that. We're just going to the edge. We're putting a translucent film over top of a translucent piece of plastic, or clear piece of plastic, transparent. So here's the fun part. Because this has little indentations here, I'm not wrapping all that stuff in there. We don't need to, because this gets covered, as you can see with that one over there, by that plastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blade and run it on the back side of this light, okay? I have no stretch on this vinyl. There's no reason for this vinyl to ever have an issue, ever pull back or anything like that. So we run our blade on the back of our blade on the edge, okay? This way we're not cutting into anything, and your blade should glide effortlessly. So that way you know that you're not cutting into anything. Because you know that if it stops or if you're forcing it, then you're actually cutting into something. So finish up all this. This is the easier part coming up around here. Let's go across the top. Once we're done, we're going to go over it with a bit of heat. Again, seal up all the edges. So I can just run my blade at the top here. Put a little tension on the vinyl, keeps it nice and straight. Because you want the vinyl to be taut. You don't want the vinyl to be loose and flimsy when you're trying to cut it. It doesn't do any good, okay? It's really difficult to cut it that way. So up in the top corner here, it's a little bit tight, so I'm just making sure we got coverage. It's looking good. Put yourself in a comfortable position for when you cut. That's an important tip that I can give you, okay? Because you don't want to be in an awkward spot and having a hard time cutting. So total, we're at 5 minutes. We're gonna go over it now. We're gonna seal the deal with all the edges. Literally the world's easiest tint. I've never used anything easier than this in my life. I never even used to offer headlight tints. After I did it a few times, I was like, forget it, I'm not doing it anymore. Wet application is not fun. And she's done. So fluff on it, that's about it. So let's get this off. Just under 6 minutes, one light done. So we can see visually right now the difference between the two, right? Aesthetically, it looks really good. Sorry, someone's just calling me right now. I'll have to call them back. So aesthetically, it looks really good. Now what I want to do is I want to show you the light output, okay? So let's turn the lights on. First of all, you'll see the indicator, that orange thing around the side there. And then let's check out the lights themselves. Right? What are we seeing? I literally see nothing. Let's turn off some lights, okay? So let's make this a bit more interesting. Can you see a difference? I don't. Let's turn off some more lights. So remember, in the shop, we have about 50 LED light bars running across the ceiling and a whole bunch down the sides. So again, now we've got more lights off, and I'm just trying to show you perspectively what it might look like in different lighting conditions. Let's hit the last light. There we go. So we've got all the lights off in the shop. I mean, I don't even need to have any lights on in the shop. The headlights are so bright. I could probably, oh, they just turned off on their own because that's what happens. So what I want to do is turn this back on. There we go. We'll just give that a second. We're going to run this for another 2 minutes, and that's going to be it. So really want to show you guys what is going on with these lights. This is the most important part right here, is that we're not losing any light output, anything that's noticeable. Now let's go to the front of the truck. Do you see a difference from the left side to the right side? Mind you, it's not a flat wall, but I mean, you can see that the light is got a straight, nice little straight bar running right across there, and then same thing on the right side over there. Everything runs through really well. Everything is super bright. To me, that's the most important thing that I can show you guys, is that you don't really have to be afraid. The difference is negligible, like I said, and let me just turn this off. The difference is negligible. You're not going to lose a lot of light output, and you're definitely not going to have to worry about safety issues as far as that goes, because we're not really diminishing the light output. So again, it does and it doesn't. If you're really concerned about it, you could put a clear PPF, paint protection film, over top of it. This, in the end, will protect these lights for the life of the truck. And you peel it off, and we've got no sands, like so those sand chips in it, like it's literally, they're really fine speckles. This will protect that from happening the entire time it's on. Even for heavier stone chips and stuff like that, these are very flat lights. They'll definitely take a beating, and this is going to help protect them. This whole truck is getting wrapped, and it's pretty much brand new. It's about a couple months old, pretty much brand new, and it's going to look fantastic when he takes the wrap off in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So anyways, guys, I hope that this video was informative. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If you still hate me for tinting headlights and taillights, or you really don't like tinting headlights and taillights, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Again, everyone's entitled to their own personal opinion. I really just wanted to show you the actual facts and how it is to install. Again, don't forget that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Don't forget the notifications as well. Everything in the description below that I used today. Take care.